Today, our guest in the studio is Mr. Albert Fish. He's a serial killer and has come here today to tell us about his life and what made him do the things he did. Albert Fish is known for being one of the most disgusting pedophiles and killers of all time. After his capture, he admitted to have harassed over 400 children and tortured and killed several others. Fish was a small, gentle-looking man who appeared kind and trusting, yet once alone with his victims, the monster inside him was released. Welcome, Mr. Fish. Please start out by introducing yourself.
I was born on May 19th in the year 1870. My full name is Albert Hamilton Fish, but people call me the werewolf of Wisteria.
Interesting. Well, what about telling me a little bit about your background? We know that you were born in Washington, D.C. and that your father's name was Randall. But what more can you tell us?
Well, my dad was of English ancestry, and he was at the age of 75 when I was born. My mother was born in Ireland and was 43 years younger than my father. My family had a history of mental illness. My mom had visual hallucinations. My sister was diagnosed with a mental affliction. My uncle suffered from religious mania, and I could go on. When my father died in 1875, my mom put me into St. John's Orphanage in Washington. Here we were treated barbaric and cynical. After a while in St. John's Orphanage, I began to enjoy the physical pain the beatings brought. This period in my life was where it all started.
Okay, now for the more serious part. We know that you are a murderer, but why? How could you make yourself do these things to other human beings?
It was a sign from God. God commanded me to torture and sexually abuse children. I suffered from religious psychosis.
Wow. You make it sound like it's okay what you've done to people. But anyway, were you going after any particular group of people, or did you just choose your victims randomly?
I was after the outcasts. I murdered either the mentally handicapped or the African Americans. I chose them because I assumed that these people wouldn't be missed when killed.
How did you murder your victims? Did you not feel bad at all afterwards?
I used my implements of hell, which were usually a meat cleaver, a butcher knife, and a small handsaw. I would lure children away from their homes, torture them in various ways, including using a paddle laced with sharp nails, then rape them.
Thank you for telling us your story, Mr. Fish. As time went on, the sexual fantasies Fish would act out on children grew more bizarre, and often ended in murdering and cannibalizing his victims. In 1928, Albert Fish killed a girl named Grace Budd. This was the murder which caused Fish his death. This is the most mentioned murder of his, and he ended up being executed January 16, 1936, in the electric chair. Here's an extract of the letter Fish wrote about Grace Budd's death. First, I stripped her naked. She did kick, bite, and scratch. I shocked her to death, and then cut her into small pieces so I could take my meat to my room, cook and eat it. How sweet and tender her little ass was roasted in the oven. It took me 9 days to eat her entire body. I did not fuck her though, even though I wish I had. She died a virgin. So that was all for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Fish, and joining us this time. Stay posted, guys, and thank you so much.